I was born in 1946. I am 78 years old, and I am from the Philadelphia area, specifically the city of Norristown, Pennsylvania. It's famous because of Tommy Lasorda. He was from there, the famous coach of the LA Dodgers, and Mike Piazza, who is his nephew, another baseball player. So a lot of baseball players, and baseball was the only thing for kids back then.
Hmm.
So in 1946, I was born in the city, and in that city was a brewery. The brewery is called Schmitz, not Schlitz. Schmitz. It's a German brewery, specifically in the Philadelphia area, way back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So back then, women did not have a car. They raised kids and stuff. So we had a bread man. He delivered bread to the front door. We had a milkman. He delivered milk to the back door. We had an ice man because we didn't have an ice. We had an ice box, but we didn't have a refrigerator. And we had a beer man. So the milk was delivered in glass quart bottles in a case to the backyard. The beer was delivered in quart bottles, quart glass bottles with a cap. So, and the bread man was the front and the ice man was in the back door. So all those things happened, one, because women didn't have a car. They got their groceries from time to time at a corner market. There was no Kroger, there was no Acme, there was no Kmart, Walmart. None of that existed except little corner stores that maybe was a meat market or a little bit of groceries. So when beer is delivered to your back door and you have milk and you have bread and you have butter and you have ice, that is your basic of your essentials. So beer was like our water. Uh, we had water. We had a tap. We had a well. I am one of 13 children. My mother was pregnant 13 times. I'm the oldest daughter. I have a brother 1 year older than myself. So, and they were all single births, no twins or triplets or anything like that. So, as the oldest daughter, what I did was I did diapers and I changed diapers and I held babies and I did strollers and I did laundry and we hung the laundry out in the backyard on a line.
Hmm.
But our main go-to was whatever my mother made for dinner. Our main go-to for entertainment was a deck of cards and a bottle of beer. Now, not when I'm 13 or 12 or something, but the family, my mother had five sisters and three brothers, and they all lived within 5 blocks of each other and around the church, which was across the street. The school was down the street. Everything was walkable. You didn't have to drive anywhere because everybody had one car. There was one phone on the wall. That was it. It was dial up. So when the family got together after dinner or on Saturday or Sunday, the kids played in the backyard. We played tag, we roller skated, we played jump rope, and all the things that were simple. The parents would sit around and play canasta. They would play poker. They would play bridge. But they always had a glass of beer beside them because beer was our water.
Wow.
Beer was delivered like milk and butter and bread and ice. Beer was essential. And it was simple and it was always there. And a quart of beer was, depending, they had different kinds of lagers. A quart of beer was about 10 cents. Then it went up to 25 cents for a quart of beer. Now, a quart of beer is like, it's 26 ounces, 24 ounces. And so it's like 2 cans of beer, which are Bud Light and our Michelob Ultra and our uh, everything else that is available now. So for people who didn't exist, were born after the 2000s, they don't know what a quart of beer looks like.
No.
It, it's glass. It was glass because everything could be recycled and, put through a, uh, a system where it cleaned the bottles, put the beer back in, and then the bottle was reused, like recycling now, pretty much.
Mhm.
So our days, beer wasn't anything that was bad. It was just there, and it was part of each day, not necessarily a meal. We would have the children would have milk, but we didn't really have a glass of water. Uh, Water was simple and it was already there, but water wasn't a necessity. It was just simple. The necessity water was to do the laundry, do the clothes, give the kids a bath,
Uh-huh.
and that's what water is for. Water really wasn't for to drink. It wasn't. There was no bottles of water. Uh, but bottles of water, I don't know the exact date when it came, which is now a necessity of life.
Mhm.
So a typical weekend, we would my somebody would make a cake or somebody's birthday. My mother had all these children. My mother's sisters each had 7 or 8 or 9 children, all within blocks of each other.